Now who's the villain, Flash? Now who's the villain? And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nurse New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka the Principal of Pleasure, with my co-hosts.
There you go. Yeah, this is Eli, aka Johnny Slick.
There you go. And no, we're not going to do over. We should just let it roll. Funny thing about the Principal of Pleasure, when that Janet Jackson song came out, I actually thought they were talking about school. I didn't.
The Pleasure Principal?
Yeah. I didn't know the song was about sex. I didn't know. I just thought it was whatever.
I just like the video, man.
It's Janet Jackson in the 80s and the 90s. So, of course, you're not even listening to that's the problem. We weren't listening to the words. We were just like, oh, Janet Jackson video. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We might have should been paying more attention, but never mind. Yeah, that was we're back with another episode. We're gonna just jump into it. We actually got some good news. We're gonna start off with this first part because Coachella happened this weekend, Eli. And of course, since we follow comics all the time, I'm loud.
Yeah,
that's okay. Nice. That's okay. But the thing about it, Coachella happened this weekend. Of course, we keep up with Coachella because we're the target audience, obviously, So yeah, you had like
I guess.
Lamar show. Yeah. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, Doja Cat. Yeah, that's us. Of course, you want to go listen to that, But other option came there was Danny Elfman was there. Was one of the acts of Coachella. I guess
that's what I hear.
I guess he filled up with Kanye West or something like that. I don't know. But even though this is the Danny Elfman we know, and for those who don't know who Danny Elfman is, Danny Elfman did the soundtrack to pretty much everything. The
Simpsons,
Batman, Spider-Man, Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas, anything you think of, any like goth, super weird shit, he did it. But this
basically
is
every Tim Burton movie.
Every Tim Burton movie, yes. But this was the Danny Elfman that came to Coachella that we know. This was the Danny Elfman that came to Coachella, and I don't know where the hell this Danny Elfman came from. I don't know how he become jacked and tatted up, and apparently not only was he jacked tatted up, the set he was doing was The Simpsons, Batman, Spider-Man. Let's talk about. No, we will, Jake.
That was you
came to the right podcast.
That was Salt and Pepper, not Janet Jackson.
Right. I know why he said that. We're gonna get to that in a second. Why he said that. Inside joke. But yeah, so this is Danny Elfman that showed up at Coachella, Jack tatted up. Okay, and he was playing Simpsons, he was playing Spider-Man, Batman, all the classics. He was playing them. So you imagine you're being at Coachella, high as hell, and this swole ass old ass dude show up playing Simpsons and shit, and you on LSD or whatever the fuck you on at Coachella. You just like, whoa, okay, yeah. So
he didn't play any Oingo Boingo shit.
I don't know what a Oingo Boingo. What you keep
that was
saying
his
that?
Band. That was his like. He was back in the 80s. That's where Danny Elfman came from. He was like the singer of this like new wave band called Oingo Boingo. Weird Science, Dead Man's Party. He was in they ended up in movies and shit. He was in they actually played live, and was it Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield? That party going on. It's the
so he was there.
That's him. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That was his band.
Learn something new every day. I didn't know that. Let's see. What the hell are you smoking over?
I'm clean and sober, man. I don't do nothing, man. I'm like a good Christian white man.
Are you vaping? Those are the last people that are clean and sober, but yeah, we're gonna keep going.
Mountain Dew.
We're just gonna keep going. So yeah, so that's what's going on with like I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know how he gets so swole. So Jack playing all this weird shit. Are we gonna get John Williams next year? Jacked up playing Star Wars. Duel of Fates.
Well,
The death metal version or something.
Didn't Hans Zimmer like show up at one of these things and did a set or something one time? I don't know.
Probably. Like I said, I don't keep up with.
And then the guy, and then the Wonder Woman dude came out.
Well, that's the thing. The Wonder Woman is actually Wonder Woman. That's the thing.
What?
So she does. Yeah. Okay. Let me back up. So the person that made the Wonder Woman theme was actually a woman.
The fuck are you smoking?
One of us are high on this podcast. But yeah, there was a woman. I think her name was Tina Gow, like that. She's like a cellist or violinist, something like that. And she's the one that did
yeah.
So she did because Hans Zimmer and that Junkie XL dude were like that. They couldn't figure out the Wonder Woman theme song. So that's why it sounds so much different from everything else they did, because they didn't do it. They just took credit for it. So yeah. But yeah, she was in Coachella doing that, whole crowd going crazy like that. But yeah, that's Coachella. So that is your Coachella news from us. As far as what else happened that weekend, we don't know. I don't know. Maybe Eli knows. I don't know. Maybe Oingo Boingo did show up. I don't know.
I'm way too metal for that. I don't know.
No Doja Cat for you, Eli? Okay.
Well, anyway, I don't listen to her.
All right. Let's.
I study her for science.
Right. For research purposes.
I research her. Yeah.
Kanye got from Coachella. Why do we know this? I'm gonna go ahead and say, okay. So Kanye got banned from Coachella because of the threats he was making to what's his face online, Kim Kardashian's new boyfriend. So since he made the threats online, they said it was like social media bullying or some shit like that. So they banned him from Coachella. And I guess that's why Danny Elfman is there. So yeah, that's as far as we know as Coachella. My Coachella expertise is tapped out. So let's move on past that. Let's talk about stuff we do know. The Batman. Let's talk about the Batman. Let's just jump into it, Eli. Like I said, we talked about when we were performing. I didn't tell you exactly what we do because I didn't want to spoil the surprise. But let's just jump into it. Now, I didn't want to spoil. Now, when we perform, we did the podcast last week. The Batman has to perform like then. It was out right then, so we didn't get a chance to like really talk about it, go into detail. We got too much stuff going on. But then we started seeing stuff online. Well, at least I started seeing stuff online. Eli. I don't know about you, but people started making posts about but the Batman, because they finally got a chance to see it on HBO Max. And it was the repeated thing I kept seeing over and over again. It sucked. It was boring. I hated it. I couldn't make it through it. Couldn't watch a second time. It took me 3 chances to watch it. I'm like, oh, shit. So this is completely different consensus than what we got from, a month ago when we saw the movie? Because that's like, now, I want to make a disclaimer. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Whatever you think of, anything you want to think of, that's fine. There are people out there that,
if you don't agree with us, you're stupid.
Yes, we understand.
Fuck you,
and that's
piece of shit.
And
you don't
that's
like
why
what I like? Fuck off.
And
dummy.
that's why, right? And that's why we banned Star Wars from the podcast. But that's the thing. So there's always that one weirdo that thinks that Morbius was a good movie. It wasn't. It sucked. There are people that hated Infinity War. Like my mom and my nephew. They were like, that must have been the longest movie ever made. That's what they were saying when I took them to the movie theater. But for the most part, people enjoyed that movie. So there's always a general consensus of what people think. So regardless of your own personal opinion of what you think.
There's people that like the Snyder cut. Yeah. I hey, to each their own. So,
okay. Snyder cut banned along with Star Wars. Let's just stick it over there, But like I said, we got the Batman coming out, and when I saw just one, post about it, one tweet about it, I'm just like, okay, maybe just that one person that just couldn't get into it, But it kept being over and over and over again. Then people jumping in there, yeah, that movie did suck. I hated that movie. I didn't want to watch it. So I'm just like, there seemed to be some kind of disconnect going on, Eli. I think there's some kind of discourse going on, because believe it or not, people do pay attention to our reviews, like us. It's not a lot. But there are people that pay attention to our reviews. So they will see a movie or like a movie or not like a movie based on what we say. We said Morbius sucked. People are saying, you know what? I'm glad you said it. I'm not going to see that movie, But we recommended the Batman. Both of us did. It wasn't just me, because sometimes we are not on the same page. Sometimes I will recommend some shit, and I'll just say, I like it. I just go for it. But we both recommended the Batman, and people going to see the Batman just saying, I waited for the HBO to come out. Yeah, that movie sucked. Boring. Couldn't stand it. And it wasn't like it was overrated or it wasn't the type y'all made it. They just said it flat out sucked. Couldn't watch it. Couldn't get into it. And it was all, and they actually went into detail about why they didn't like it. One reason, hold on, let me see what we got. Like I said, it's always that one guy, Eli. It's always that one guy. Shout out to Jake.
God bless you.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, but what I was saying is that the first thing they were saying they didn't like about the movie is main thing Robert Pattinson. They thought he sucked as Batman, not Bruce Wayne, Batman. The thing they kept throwing around was emo. He was an emo Batman the whole time. Like I couldn't get into emo Batman. It's just like
I did see that. That it's emo Batman. Batman just.
Oh wow, people hate the Batman in certain circles. 6 months man, in certain circles. Like I said, I am seeing a trend. But yeah, like you got people hating Robert Pattinson. Of course they hated his Bruce Wayne, but they specifically said they hated him. Just the way he was just acting like you're not my dad, Alfred. You know that really rubbed people the wrong way. What else? The only thing people like universally liked about this movie was Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon. That was about it. Everybody else had discord about their life. Some people didn't even like Zoe. You know, for what reason? I don't know. They just say that. I don't know what they just didn't like her. You know, Penguin for the most part liked, but people forgot he was in the movie. Riddler, people hated Riddler. If you hated Batman, of course you hated Riddler. You know, but most people couldn't even make it to the Riddler to even see what he looked like. So they just like what I did see of him, I hated. So. That's my thing. I don't know. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up because I do think how you experience the movie determines how you like a movie. We saw the movie in the theaters. You saw the movie in the theater. You know, a lot of people are watching it at HBO Max at home. And I do think that this movie, I'm not calling people anything like that, but I do think this movie requires more of your attention than, say, a Marvel movie. Your normal Marvel movie, you know. Most of the time, you actually have to pay attention to the plot, pay attention to the acting, pay attention to what's going on with the screen. Where another movie you might be watching at home, it just shit might happen. Shit's blowing up, a joke is being told, you know, and it's keeping your attention going. Where this isn't that type of movie. And I do think in a theater environment, that's why I do think that the theater experience enhanced this movie. When you're in a theater environment, you're locked in, you don't have a cell phone, you're paying attention to the movie because you're there because you can't go anywhere. When you're at home watching HBO Max, what are all of us doing when we're at home watching TV? This
on our phone,
or this
folding laundry,
iPad, tap it on the phone. People in the background screaming and shit.
Microwaving a burrito.
Right, you're eating in the same time. You're
taking a shit.
Now keep in mind, I'm not blaming everybody because I do this. I'm guilty of this myself when I'm watching a movie at home and it's there and I'm doing other shit. And it's like even when I'm preparing for the podcast right before we record, I might throw a movie on, but I may not be paying attention to it. If shit happens, cool. But if not, I'm just ignoring it in the background. So that's the thing. So when people are watching movies at home, this is the stuff you're going through. You're not locked in. It's like if the movie catch me cool, if it don't, I'm checked out. And a lot of times with a movie, if you're not invested in the first 30 minutes, you're not gonna catch on with whatever the hell else is going on with the movie. You're just out of it, you know. And most people don't do rewatches on movies they didn't like the first time. You know, oh shit, they come in hot. Let's see. Riddler kind of goofy as fuck. That's kind of the point. Yeah. We explained it in our review. Yeah. Oh, your phones when you're at the movies. Jake, that's a violation, Jake. You can't do that. You can't do that. If I go real, even Alfred, all more interested in Batman, Bruce Wayne. But that's what I always said. Batman is always the least interesting part of his own stories in any story. That's just me, you know. But that's my thing. In order to really invest in this movie, you have to pay attention to it. You have to be invested. You have to be locked in. If you're at home, it's not going to catch attention. And it's not just this movie. I think it's a lot of movies there's a lot of disconnect on. Say, Fast and the Furious. Say Transformers. A lot of people do watch Fast and the Furious at home, including myself. And it's like, how the fuck these movies keep making all this money? You know, I watched the last one like that, and I was like, I like this movie, really? But when you're in the theater and you got a bunch of shit blowing up all around stuff like that, you can enjoy yourself at the time. Do you remember anything about the movie when you walk out of a Transformers movie? No. But the 2 hours I saw when I was there, I liked it. But I can't watch that shit at home. You know, and I think the Batman is the same way. Like when you watch the movie at home, it's not going to give you the same effect as it is in the theaters. That's just me. You know.
Yeah, and I think going like the people who saw it in the theaters were the ones really excited for it, and probably more fans of Batman and wanted, wanted to enjoy it that way. But even then, like even after before it came out on HBO, it seemed to be the same consensus. People are like really liked it, or they thought it was boring, or this or that. Megan Fox.
I knew Megan Fox, but yeah.
but yeah, it seems like it's boring, it's long, emo Batman, it's like the same shit. Basically, well, for me, it's like everything that the people are hating about it are all the reasons why I love it. First of
Right.
all, emo Batman. Don't you read a fucking comic? Batman's always emo.
No, they don't. That's the thing.
Batman is never happy, ever. He's a sad fucking sack. It's yeah. But I mean, I liked, like I said, we talked about it in the fucking our review. I liked that it was more of a murder mystery. I liked that it was like the Zodiac or Seven.
But the thing in 2022, Eli, how many people are going out to see Seven or Zodiac or Kiss the Girls or whatever the hell came out?
Yeah, I mean, true crime shit is all on Hulu, and they watch it they stream it on Netflix and shit. Yeah, it's not that. But yeah, I mean, I like that. Yes, the first it is. I do understand that it is a long movie, and but I like that it was a detective story and a murder mystery, and it made all these references to all these cool serial killer shit, and then they tack on this bombastic comic book shit at the end. I enjoyed it. I mean, I saw it twice in the theater. I've watched it twice this week since it's been on HBO.
I have also, yeah.
Yeah, and I still enjoy it. I mean, yeah, I've been seeing that shit. People just hate it,
Yeah.
for whatever. And yes, it's not a Marvel movie. It's not a Marvel movie. It's not even a Justice League movie. It's
not a Snyder movie.
It's not a Snyder movie. It's just it's a mystery. It is a straight up murder mystery. And that's what I like about it. But hey, I get it. If people want to go see Razzmatazz Batman, goofy, campy Batman, this ain't it. If you want to see punch 'em up Batman, there's a little bit of that. But this isn't an action movie.
But it's not every 5 minutes. That's the thing. It's not an action punch 'em up fast movie. And I think that's what got like people like, okay, how many fight scenes are there? And they're kind of spaced out.
Yeah,
they're there, but they're spaced out.
And quite frankly, yes. Do they need the third hour? Not really. It could have totally ended, once they caught the Riddler. But hey, I get it. They need to sell toys,
they gotta have their fight scene. You gotta
have. It's a comic book movie. We gotta have all the razzmatazz, and so yeah, they tacked on this, really action-packed ending, which I still loved. I still thought it was cool, But I dig that. I dug all of that. And now that I've watched it like 4-5 times now, I'm noticing shit that I haven't noticed before. It's making me like the movie even more.
Right. Now, like I said, we're not judging anybody. If you don't like the movie, it's just not your movie. That's fine. But I just found it weird that's like the narrative of the movie online just changed in a month's time. That's all.
Like if you didn't go see it in the theater, well, then you probably didn't give a fuck about it anyways. You know what I mean?
True.
And yeah, I mean so that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing basically, and the reasons why everybody hate it are the reasons why I love it. Yeah, emo Batman. I like that emo. I like that he's still not. He's developing he hasn't become the Batman we know yet. That he's still learning. I like all that shit. That scene in fucking where he meets the Riddler in Arkham. I love that shit. I love that scene.
Yeah,
when Riddler's
that's one of my favorite scenes when he talking to the Riddler. Yeah.
Yeah, when Riddler's like, "Oh, really? You're an orphan? Shit."
Even the part where he was just annoying Batman.
And how you just see Batman just like staring at the ground, like, "Oh yeah. Basically, the shit I went through, the shit that defines me as a character, really ain't that bad. Yet I went nuts." And then when he says we're the same, then he's like, "Whoa, no, we're not. No, I'm not as crazy as you are." That makes it for me. Like I said, it reminds me of Silence of the Lambs and Manhunter and Zodiac and Seven, and I think it goes into the psychology of Batman more than any other movie did. So, but that's me. Here we are sucking its dick again. So
yeah, I still love the movie, but like I said, everybody different strokes for different folks. That's all we got to say.
yeah,
So let's
you
move
know.
on to the next part of the podcast. Let's talk about something that happened a long time ago on Monday.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah, the
that was
Thor
a while
Love and
ago.
Trailer. Like in the internet
Oh,
terms,
that's right.
this is the long yonder times. you know, back with that. So yeah, but people had completely forgot about Love and
Before
Thunder.
Coachella or whatever.
Right. Before Buff Danny Elfman. Yeah. But let's just talk about Love Thor and None. Let's give our 2 cents about it. From what I've seen, the trailer was cool. Ready with Batman and Catwoman hook up. Well, I thought DC banned that. I thought they don't do that or something, you know. Other than Zack Snyder, like once they fired Zack Snyder, said it's not a thing anymore. Yeah. But as far as the Love and Thunder trailer, Eli, what would you think about it? Yeah, it was there. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I just wanted to briefly talk about it because it was like it was there. It was a thing. It happened. You know. It didn't just blow my mind. Like, oh shit, it's great. Trailer. Because the thing is, like Ragnarok, I thought was like one of the best trailers that Marvel ever put together. And it's the same guy that's making that movie than making this movie. And he made this trailer. I'm just like, it's okay. They on a boat, and Thor's kissing the person, and he may or may not be in love with Star-Lord,
and the they play Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. I'm like, damn. Of all the Viking metal bands that are around, they couldn't find one song.
I guess, but they weren't trying to go for that high octane energy or whatever. You know, Eli wanted to play want to see Baby Yoda.
Sure.
Yeah. Let everybody get mad about. Oh, yeah. That's why we're talking about it, Jake. That is why we're talking about it, because it's 2015 all over again. We have to relive this insanity. Let's just get to it. First thing, people are pissed off about Thor and Jane Foster. Yes, we have girl Thor or she Thor. It's just Thor. Just call it Thor, man. It's okay. He or she who wields the power of Thor.
Oh, wait a second. Is she Odin's son?
Odin daughter or whatever the fuck.
Is she the son of Odin? Then no, I'm not calling her Thor.
Okay. Hashtag not my Thor.
That's like Leroy saying he's Eli.
That is true.
Thor is a person, not a costume.
That is true. But the thing is, people looking at this poster, it was getting pissed off about it. This the whole time I was thinking about. I was like, is they not copying He-Man? But that's just me, you know. So yeah, we've lived through this again. Like I said, this the whole thing went through in 2015 when Jane Foster first appeared. She became Thor, and everybody was pissed off, and the fans wanted to fight the creators of Marvel at Comic Cons every time they saw them and shit like that. Then they changed it back. Now we're going through this all over again. The same people that are making those posts back in 2015 making it again. Honestly, Eli, I think we're getting pissed off about it for no reason. That's just me. But here's the reason why I think we're getting pissed off for no reason. Because at the end, it doesn't matter. It's not like they're giving Natalie Portman a trilogy of these movies. She barely looked like she's even in this movie. Like it's gonna be just a one-off thing, and maybe like a multiverse. She shows up, hey, I'm Thor. She'll leave, and that's it. It's not like it's her movie. It's just she's a thing. She's there to sell tickets, and that's it. I don't think she's gonna be in it that much. That's what I think. I think it's a Thor movie, and move on. But the internet's gonna internet variants, yeah. That's one thing. She might be just a internet multiverse variant or whatever. You know, that's a variant, that's a thing that might show, or it may not be. I don't know. You know. But that's what I think has happened. So I think people just getting upset over something they really don't get upset about. It's just a thing. It happened. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the last one. I think the last one, Ragnarok, is one of my favorite Marvel movies. So I am looking forward to this one. But yeah, I mean, I just said, oh, well, I'm gonna see it. It didn't. Yeah, the trailer didn't wow me in any ways, mostly because of the song.
Right. Well, you didn't play Guitar Hero. I see that now.
But yeah, I mean, as far as I never gave a shit about Jane as Thor either. So I mean, I never finished Jason Aaron's Thor run.
Right. For those that don't know, I'm seeing a lot of Jason Aaron's run in this new movie, not only with Jane Foster, but also Gore the God Butcher. And
yeah, I read some of that shit, and then I kind of fell off after a while. I'm like, whatever, you know. It ain't no Conan.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to make it Conan. He
basically was trying to turn Thor into Conan, which was kind of cool. But But yeah, I just fell off after a while and didn't give a shit. And then they turned Thor into into Jane or whatever, and I was just like, whatever. So I mean, I don't. Yeah, in the end, I don't really give a shit. But I'm not like, I'm not totally like
we might
blown
need to
away.
be that. We're like the only like people on social media that do this comic book shit that's not, flipping his shit over Jane Foster. Like maybe we need to get views, I guess.
And I think, and what gets me is it's creating the divide again, which I think that's what I think is more stupid than anything else.
Okay, but are they doing it or are these assholes online doing it?
I don't know. I just keep saying, don't calling her Lady Thor is sexist, blah, 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 blah. And then people are like, well, Lady Thor is actually a proper name because that's how you refer to a woman of royalty.
Right.
And all this shit. And then they're just going people.
Yes, Luigi Hunter. No, Luigi Hunter, this is recording. We are all here. This is I have a question.
By all means.
Go for it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just see everyone starting to call each other sexist or call each other this is or that or whatever, because that, trying to, be all the whole stupid woke, unwoke, diversity arguments that you see online. That to me is just getting old. I'm sick of the divide,
Right.
And
but there's good money into it. It's good money and people talking about it. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, and it's just a discussion. It's just tired discussions that I have no interest in anymore, and especially coming from a corporation that really doesn't give, only cares about the green. So
they know people are going to talk about it, so let's just put it out there. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah, they're basically marketing arguments. Let's get people arguing over political bullshit, and that's their market now. Well, let's change. Let's piss off the old school characters and or whatever. Let's just intentionally piss people off just so they talk about it, and it just keeps the divide going. That's how I feel about it.
But my thing is, we get overexcited about this stuff and get pissed off about this stuff, but a week later it doesn't even matter. Remember that Michael B. Jordan Superman movie? It's never gonna happen. But guess what? People got pissed over for the last 2 weeks about it. Just talked about it over again for a movie that's never even gonna happen, never gonna be a thing. So that's the thing. The internet is just generating shit. And to be honest with you, Eli, we're part of the machine ourselves, even just talking about this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So want to move on? just realize I unplugged myself from the Matrix. Let's go. One thing I did want to talk about that people are also getting pissed off about the art. Like I said, you got that scene from there that also came from the Gore the Gar Butcher run also. And people are complaining that, the artist that made that CGI rendering probably gonna get paid way more than the guy that actually created the thing in the comic. Probably will. Fuck it. He knew that when he signed on to the deal. What do we got here? More attention, more money. That's the thing. 616, man. It's all part of the market machine. We're doing Marvel's work for them. Just talk about this shit.
Yeah.
So let's move on. I can't see what that is. Let's move on to this one. Yeah, this one. I just want to briefly talk about this one. Because I think honestly, I was going to ignore it, but when he kept doing it, I feel like we have to just mention it just kind of briefly. So if people don't know, Ezra Miller has attacked some people in Hawaii. Again, this is not the first time he's done it. He's actually done it again.
And not online, not attacked them online, like in real life.
Like in real life, like actually put hands on them. I think they would like sing karaoke and they sing a song he didn't like or something like that. I'm sorry, we keep saying he. We got to use the pronouns, man. We got to not he, she, he, them, you, me. So I'm gonna just say his pronoun. The pronoun for Ezra Miller is this motherfucker. That's what I'm gonna call this motherfucker. Okay. So this motherfucker wants to punch people over and over again in Hawaii. So right now, for the last
over
week
a
in Hawaii,
song.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it been over a song. I guess maybe he didn't like the selection.
Because that's awesome, kind of. Shut the fuck up.
Oh man. So but my thing about it is that people are thinking about maybe they should replace Ezra Miller for the Flash, or maybe they should get somebody else. They can't replace Ezra Miller for the Flash. So let's just kill that notion right there. The reason they can't kill the movie because the movie's technically already done. You know, they've already wrapped filming. They're already in the middle of special effects. They're already doing stuff like that. So maybe they'll throw another ending in where he gets sucked to a time hole and he comes out black or some shit like that. I don't know, you know, but as of right now, he's stuck in the movie. But this DC has a way of getting around this. It wasn't Ezra Miller. It was the Reverse Flash. He did all this shit. So,
he was in character. He was method acting.
Exactly. It was me, Barry, all along. Pretty Sarah like him as a Flash. I hate him as a Flash. I thought he sucked. I don't know why we even like defending this guy, because he's like the last piece of like the Snyder reign that was there. So now all you guys left is Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot, and I think she's gonna be like one more movie. That's a wrap for her anyway. So yeah, if they even
we'll just blame it all on Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon's fault.
Hey, it worked before. Just do it again. Joss Whedon at home like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Joss Whedon and Ezra Miller hanging out together.
All right, let's move on to the next part. Okay, let's move on to the next part of it. This is the Vidja game section, Eli. I'm gonna let you take over for this. This is all you. So I want to see what you got for me, because I really didn't do any research on this, but I know you wanted to really talk about this, because even though I am the target demographic for this, I just didn't.
Yeah, you like video games.
I do, and I beat all these games, but it's just I'm gonna let you talk about it. Then I'll put my 2 cents in there.
Well, yeah, the guy was Derek Kolstad, the guy who created John Wick and directed Deadpool movies and what have you, choreographs all these new wave action movies. I guess they're announcing that they're making a Streets of Rage movie because SEGA has success with the Sonic movies. They're like, well, fuck it, let's start.
Sonic 2, is like the highest grossing video game movie of all time.
Yeah, they're
and
like,
it's actually Jim Carrey's highest grossing opening weekend of any of his movies of all time.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So based on the success of the Sonic movies, they're reaching into SEGA's game library. Like, well, what else can we do with make a movie out of? And they pulled out Streets of Rage. So yeah, and this is, like I said, the guy who created John Wick, choreographs John Wick. Keanu Reeves' stunt double in the Matrix movies, who knows martial arts and is an action choreographer. He wants to make the Streets of Rage games into a movie. I think it's kind of a cool idea until I started to think about it. You know, I was like,
okay,
what rating is it going to be? If they're going to make it PG and shit and make it for kids, well, then you're going to have Double Dragon in the 90s. You're going to have the Street Fighter movie with Van Damme, something shitty like that crap.
I mean, but that's what it is. It's Streets of Rage. It was for Sega Genesis. It's not like it was hardcore shit like God of War or anything like that, or they remade anything like that.
Well, they did. Yeah, I mean, they don't do. I mean, God of War wasn't out back then, but I'm saying the people who play Streets of Rage are old school gamers.
Right.
They're over 18. If they make this an R-rated movie and make it dope ass fight scenes like that's in John Wick or Nobody or The Raid, if they just make The Raid, then this could be dope. Give cool, brutal action scenes, R-rated, let them go all out, because that's all the games are, is just a side-scrolling, punch them up game. You know,
that's all they've ever been. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another concern.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see what Jake got. Let's see. Yes, you took the words right out of my. That's exactly what I was about to say. There's no story to these games, and that's a problem with a lot of them. Yeah, video game movies are the new comic book movies coming up. That's the problem with a lot of these older video games, like in the Nintendo and stuff like that. There's no story. Now there is a kind of story to kind of get it going. I think somebody gets kidnapped. And
no, it's basically a corrupt corporation is taking over the city, and all these ex-cops come together and start whipping everybody's ass. It's Die Hard. It's an action movie. It's no different than Rambo or John Wick. You don't give a shit about what's going on in John Wick movies. He just kicks ass. That's all.
That's true. They killed his dog. So I guess you don't really need much of a plot. You just The best John Wick plot was the first movie because you gave a fuck about the dog. The rest of the sequels, do you give a shit what's happening in John Wick 2 or 3? No. I don't even know why they still after him. It's just I kind of forgot. It's just they just shooting him.
Yeah, but you don't give a shit because it's all about his ass whooping. You know, Nobody. You see Nobody? That fucking movie's dope as fuck. I don't remember. He's an old ass kicker who starts kicking ass. That's all I care about. Kate, have you seen Kate yet on Netflix?
I haven't seen Kate yet.
It's dope. Oh man, dope. I don't care what it's about. She's an assassin, and she starts assassinating people with their bare hands. That's all. And that's
just
all.
Get to the point. Yeah.
That's the reason why you watch it, is for the action scenes. You don't give a shit about the plot, you know. So
okay.
So yeah, I mean that's the Raid. The Raid, one of the best action movies, both of them, Raid and Raid 2. It's just cops kicking ass. You know, they're going up the building. It's basically a live action video game. They start on the first floor. They keep making their way up to the roof in the first Raid movie. They lose their guns. Then they got to fight the boss when they get to the roof. That's all that movie's about. But it's awesome. And that's what they need to do with this. Just focus on the fight scenes and make it really cool action. You know, I mean, that's what they're doing now. Like, did you see the Hitman's Bodyguard movies? They're cheesy, stupid kind of love stories, but the action is cool. Really cool, brutal action scenes. You know, John Wick is appeals the amount of research that goes into it. The dude's constantly training with guns. How many bullets he fires? Yeah. Action.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool action, so you just go with the Street Fighter gritty reboot. Yeah. And that's the thing, like you say, Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, the video games actually rip off of Final Fight, which came from Capcom, which was kind of like a Street Fighter spinoff. And that movie that movie actually was an adaptation of another movie. So Final Fight was an adaptation of a movie in the 80s called Streets of Fire. And it actually had the exact same plot. Dude came to war, kidnapped his girlfriend, took him there, he had to fight his way through it. They even had the same name. The guy's name was Cody. So the guy named in Cody in Streets of Fire was the same guy in Final Fight named Cody. So yeah. So that's what and that's why the white new Streets of Rage looks just like that. Streets of Rage 9. Now, here's the thing about Streets of Rage. Tony Jaa is way past the prime to do stuff like that. He can't do it. If it was early 2000s, yeah, we'd like to see made live action. I guess Streets of Rage.
Sure. I mean, I played all like Shinobi and Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Cyborg Justice. Does anybody remember Cyborg Justice? Get at me if you remember Cyborg Justice. I could play through the whole Cyborg Justice, beat it without dying. Oh, you were just a robot, and you got the
E-SWAT. E-SWAT was my shit. You remember E-SWAT?
I don't think so. What was that one?
Yeah, you was a cop, but you turned into like a armored suit, and you go around. Okay, nobody remembers E-SWAT. I'm gonna Twitch stream E-SWAT one day to make everybody remember E-SWAT. But the thing about Streets of Rage, there's really only one thing everybody
General Chaos. Yes, Heisenberg. I remember General Chaos. I do remember that game. It was like we all played it at 4 players and shit.
Yeah, maybe they do Altered Beast. They can do Altered Beast.
Yes, those games.
You actually could do Altered Beast. Yeah,
Golden Axe. Like I loved all those side scrollers. Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden, you know, I beat all the Streets of Rage games. I mean, I got the new one. Remember?
Ninja Gaiden. But now, there's one thing that makes a Streets of Rage game what it is. The reason it sticks out from every other game that was at the time, and that's one thing: the music. Yeah, the music was fucking awesome. So honestly, I don't give a shit what they do with the Streets of Rage movie as long as they have the same music. Or at least the same composer that was doing the music. Now, people always say that video game movies music sucks, but it didn't. That guy was so popular with that music. He was actually a DJ in Japan. And when he DJ'd, he played his music and people were shaking their ass to it. Like the Streets of Rage soundtrack. You know it. It's stuck in your head. You remember it. You whooping ass, but you remember. Bring back. I don't know what the SEGA channel is.
I got
No, please don't make Streets of Rage music with Danny Elfman, swole ass Danny Elfman. Make him a boss character or something. Yeah.
No, but I got Streets of Rage during the pandemic, 2020. That's what I spent my 2020 summer doing. I got Streets of Rage 4, and I played it all summer, beat it all with all the characters. Had a blast. And it is one of those games. And when they announced this the other day, you know, about the movie, I went and downloaded the new DLC pack. I thought it was going to be a brand new like story mode. It wasn't. It was just a survival mode where you just play until you die. But it unlocked a few characters. Yeah, it unlocked a few characters, and I actually went back and played through the game a couple times this past week and just had fun. Just sitting there, just kicking ass, getting the timing down. Yeah, it's all about the timing, and that's what I like about it. It's just simple fun. You can beat the game in an hour, and yeah, I always dig it. It's a cool old school game, and that's why I got into the Cobra Kai game that came out a couple years ago, because it's just a side scroller. You're just ass kicking across the screen. I still dig those games.
Let's see. Gonna be that new Ninja Turtle shops.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I want to get that new Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge. It's an old school.
Is it a real game or is it just always like Streets of Rage 4 was like a remake of the old side scrollers? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I'm excited for the Aliens versus Predator games, all that shit. Contra was hard. I always had a hard time with Contra, but I had one of those
without the code.
I had one of them like table
Game Genies.
The joystick controllers where you laid on the table, and it had that like skip feature that kind of paused in and out.
Oh, so like they didn't help me.
So it was like going in slow motion. So I was able to dodge like everything because it was like going in slow motion.
You were in the Matrix and shit. Okay.
Basically, it was bullet time.
Get it remastered, ready for it. Yeah. Which one? The first one? The first one, because they made like a whole bunch of Max Payne movies. Had it, ABACABB select start, I think.
AB.
No, up down, left, right, BABA start.
Right.
Sorry, I screwed up.
Yeah.
That's the Konami code. It's too much stuff up here. But anyway, can you move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay, we're here. All right. Like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're just going to jump into it. And Eli, you want to go first?
Sure.
Yo, up, down. You're right. Not up, down,
damn.
Up, down.
I totally forgot to get my pictures ready. What should I do first? What are you doing? Should I do Nightwing?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. I'll do Nightwing. Nightwing 91. Tom Taylor, y'all. So there's been a hit put out on Nightwing, Blockbuster. That's his name. I was calling him Blockhead last time, something like that.
Yeah, Blockhead or Hammerhead, some shit I can't remember. Yeah, Blockbuster.
Blockbuster put out a hit on Dick Grayson, so he's been living with the Flash with Ezra Miller.
You need somebody to ask for him, just let me know.
Yeah. Get Ezra Miller to protect Nightwing. So yeah, Dick and Barry have been hanging out together, and they decide to go on some adventures. And I guess there's
wait, was this Dick or was this Wally?
Wally, right? Or Barry? Is it Wally or Barry? I forget.
Because Wally's in time space or something. Oh, it doesn't matter. Go Flash. It's a Flash. Yeah.
Anyway, there's this new assassin, or I don't know. I've never heard of this person before. The agent of what is? I can't even read that. I can't see what that says. Anyway, this guy or this woman, she's like some expert assassin who hires all these other assassins to go and kill Nightwing. Barry and or I'll just say Ezra.
To make it easier, yeah.
The Flash and Nightwing go and find out who this person is and kick their ass, and then finds out their network. And this assassin is got ties to like all the top assassins on Earth. So basically, he sends out a mass email saying, Dick Grayson's gonna be here. Go kill him. And then they all ambush him. He gets like the Teen Titans. He gets like Supergirl or Superboy or Superman now. John shows up, and basically they all ambush whoever shows up. All the assassins that take the bait, they all ambush them and kick their ass. And then so at the end, Blockbuster's like, man, none of these assassins want to take your job now because they just got taken out by a bunch of superheroes. So if you want to kill Nightwing, you're gonna have to do it yourself. And that's kind of where it ends. So pretty cool, action-packed. Tom Taylor still killing it on this book. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, nice. Like I say, did he John Wick him? No. So it's like John Wick. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Excommunicado. Yeah. Y'all called it. Yeah, the shit they doing with Nightwing. He's excommunicado. Yeah.
Sure, something like that. Yeah.
Dick and Barry sounds like a movie I don't want to watch. Or do you?
Dick and Barry. Isn't that already a movie?
I'm pretty sure.
Dick and Jane. That's Dick and Jane. Sorry.
Or Dick and Harry, I guess. I don't
Dick and Harry.
What you doing, honey? Anyway, that was a real thing in the 90s. We were crazy. Okay, next book I'm going to do is, we got an angry emoji? Oh, well, thanks for listening. Next book we're going to do is, what am I going to do? Superman and Batman.
Morbius, dude. That's why.
That's what it was. He's that one guy. Yeah, so we're going to do Superman and Batman World's Finest. That's the one we're going to do right now. I'm trying to get everything set up. What's going on with this book? For those that didn't catch up, it's kind of like a Silver Age book that isn't really connected to anything. It's just its own story, just doing shit, kind of. That's what's going on with
what the fuck?
Right.
What the fuck? It's not in continuity. Fuck this shit.
Right. It's not canon. Hashtag not my Superman and Batman. Yeah, they don't fight in this book. I mean, they don't fight each other in this book. So
what about the time Superman like burned hot dogs at a picnic with his heat rays?
Right. It's not canonical. So yeah. Hold on, before we get to it, let's start. We got here Jake. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, Dan Moore, I think, is the guy. So let's just jump into it, see exactly what's going on. So yeah, so basically, for left off is that Superman is having surgery with the chief from Doom Patrol. So he's the one surgery. He's got like some kryptonite, like a scalpel and surgical tools and stuff like that, and he's cutting into his rib cage. And you actually see Superman's rib cage open, and it's actually like lighting up the room by himself. So that's weird. They're having an autopsy. Well, not an autopsy because he's still alive, but yeah. And they basically find out what's going on with it, that the red kryptonite isn't in his heart. The red kryptonite is in his blood. We're just going to just cut to the end. What's going on is that they basically saying that even though it's red kryptonite is still kryptonite. He's only got a few moments to live. So we have to basically give him like a blood transfusion, but we got like maybe 10 minutes at the most to do it. So we need Negative Man to do it. But it's like, but Negative Man can only get out of his body for a minute. Does he have enough time to do all that blood transfusion time? We're like, well, let's find out. So Negative Man jumps to Superman's body, blood transfuses him, and yeah, that's it. So Superman saved. So yeah, we're just gonna cut to the end. Well, not to the end, but towards that. And basically talking, so the Doom Patrol, Superman and Batman, Robin all having a conversation about what is going on, who is the mastermind behind this thing that tried to kill Superman. And Robin notices that Batman and Chief keep talking over each other. He was like, what's wrong with them? And Superman just says, that's what happens when you put the two smartest guys in the room in the same room together. They try to prove that they're the smartest guy in the room. So they're just going to talk over each other constantly. So they got this sword, and basically the sword comes from the legend of Nezha. And the reason what's so important about this sword is that the Doom Patrol basically tells them back in the Zheng Zhu dynasty, whatever like that, this guy named the king at the time was Ling Jing, and his son died in battle. So when his son died in battle, he basically looked all over the world, was all of years, spent all this money trying to find a way to save his son to bring him back to life. He found a way eventually. And when he gave his son like the elixir of eternal life, what actually made his son immortal. His son cannot die anymore, you know. So when his son came back to life, he realized what the hell was going on. Wait, so you gave away all your money. You're no longer king. We're basically owe all these people money. So you're worthless. The person I used to look up to, now you're worthless. Yank, chop his head off. So now I'm the king. So he becomes even bigger than the other guy and his dad was before, gets more money, more power. He learns from magicians. He's got magic powers now, and he calls himself no longer Nezha. He is Devil Nezha, you know. And only thing Superman heard was, oh, so he knows magic? Oh, shit. You know, because Superman don't like to fool with anybody that got magic, you know. So they found out the way they trapped him is that they found these 5 magician warriors that basically trapped him, and nobody's seen him since. So basically it's like, okay, so if he's back, that means either it's a copycat or somebody freed him. So we need to figure out what the hell's going on. And basically Chief is showing them that he's enlisted a whole bunch of supervillains right now because all your friends are being attacked by supervillains right now. Felix Faust. We don't know who's attacking Flash, but he's been attacked. Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Batman's just like, hold up, you spying on us? We're like, that's spying. We're like monitoring. We're like, well, we'll deal with this when we come back. Right. Like Batman doesn't do this same shit, you know. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you know. All right. So so Superman shows up and he's like, look, Robin, I want you to team up with Supergirl. And for some reason, Supergirl and Batman, Robin don't like each other. We don't find out why. I guess we'll find out later. But anyway, and Supergirl even say, like, why do I need him? I can do this by myself. They're like, you need a detective. Take your ass on. Take Robin. Go find out where this sword came from. While we go rescue Billy Batson because he's being attacked by Felix Faust right now. So Felix Faust is attacking him because Devil Nezza is telling him to do it. And what he's done to make sure Billy Batson doesn't transform into Shazam is that he removed his mouth. So he can't say Shazam. He can't say anything, you know. So by that time, Superman and Batman finally get there. Batman is like, you just a magician with a staff. Without a staff, you ain't shit, so I can kick the shit out of you. And even Superman's just like, well, look, I'm still recovering from what happened last time, but I can take this guy. You know, he's nobody. And he's like, oh, you overestimate your power. So he visions him. He Aegis reflects him. You know, that's some old Street Fighter shit, you know. Superman's punching. He can't get past it because it's magic. So he magics both of them. And then Superman looking at Batman like, ain't you like the world's greatest escape artist? Can't you get out of this shit? You know? And Batman's look, I can't escape it, but he can still hear us. And Superman like, ah. So he just whistles. But apparently his whistle is like some kind of ultrasonic type thing that gives him vertigo. Why it doesn't do Batman like that, I don't know. It just does, you know. So they drop Felix. He's down, and like, okay, I'm gonna skip this Superman. This Robin.
It's the brown note or whatever.
Yeah, they going back in time and shit. I don't care, you know. So anyway, Superman's interrogating Felix Faust, and he's like, "What did you do to Billy? And who are you working for? You know?" And he's just like, "Oh, well, here's the thing about my staff. I don't need it anymore. Devil Nezza powered me up that I don't even need it. I can just do magic. And he just wants one thing, for me to send all his enemies into hell." So now you got Superman, Batman, and Billy Batson who can't talk. It means he can't transform in hell. The end. So yeah, that's the book.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, pretty cool. Just some more wacky shit. I thought the whole book's going to be about Superman getting surgery on him, but they took care of that shit in like three pages and then got to actual the superhero shit. So cool. With just a lot of backup, a lot of backstory, a lot of setup, stuff like that. But yeah, it's cool. I deal with it. Overall, this issue I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. You know, just because it felt slower than the last one, but I'm pretty sure the next book will pick up. But yeah,
no, I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, it's a fun book. It's just a fun, easy breezy book, you know.
Yeah. So who's doing Cap? You or me?
I do Cap because if you take Cap, I have nothing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean to say so dramatic, but I'm just saying I don't have enough books. I don't have enough books to do it.
I ain't got nothing. Okay. Let's see. I'll do Shang-Chi number 11.
I had no idea this came out.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Comicsology, but yeah.
Okay, so Shang-Chi's leader of the Five Weapons Society. His grandfather basically wants to have him killed and all his relatives killed. So he's been going around trying to kill him, and he's got these monsters called what are they called again? Those monster dogs that can trace anybody who has his blood, anybody in his family who has his bloodline. So that's going on. They went to Ta Lo, that realm that was in the movie, because the grandfather kidnapped his mom, and they tried to go get her back, and they got ambushed by the army. So there's a bunch of fighting going on. They have the fight with the army. They get taken prisoner. While he's in prison, he meets up with his Sister Hammer or whatever, who's also, basically had joined forces because the grandfather's trying to kill everybody. So
her arm's still missing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got her hand. That's how he used. It's her hand that she used, or the grandfather used to get the blood. You know, but she replaced her hand. Do I have it in that picture? I don't. Let's see. You want to pull this up? She put a fucking hammer on her hand.
Hold on, let me get you in there. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they've been fighting, they were enemies now because, Sister Hammer didn't want Shang-Chi taking over the Five Weapons Society. So they've been kind of enemies now, but now that the grandfather's trying to kill them all, they've joined forces. Meanwhile, they got taken prisoner, and Shang-Chi is visited by his his dad, the spirit of his dad, who basically says the only way to kill, the Jade Emperor is to get his weapons, the 10 rings. So that's basically what he has to do. They break out of jail, start fighting the army with all those dogs, which is like, in this picture here. And then Shang-Chi gets the rings, and basically to be continued into the next issue, which is supposed to be the last issue in this arc. This one, I feel like it was a bit rushed. I felt like they were trying to like cram everything in. It's one of those, let's cram everything into this issue,
Right.
Let's wrap everything up real quick before we get to the,
Yeah, because it feels like they're doing the movie thing. We get the 10 rings. So it's not even the Mandarin rings. It's like his rings.
Yeah.
So.
That I just, it still had, action, a lot of action going on, but I felt like they were trying to like cram all these like detailed, side plots, wrap them up real quick, set up the finale. So, but yeah, I'm still enjoying this book. 3 out of 5, pretty cool.
Let's see. Wait, I thought Superman was an alien. He is.
He is. And he's
Batman. Well, they fight, but yeah. Low key hoping Mandarin action from the movie when they kept mentioning the 10 rings. I mean, he killed like 1,000 people at the beginning, so I don't know.
Oh, like in this book? No, he's not in this book, but
yeah,
the Mandarin, anyways. It's like his uncle and grandfather and all that shit.
Yeah, is a grandfather from his mother's side or father's side? I can't remember.
I think it's his mom's side.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember. Okay, all right. So next book I'm going to do is Captain America, because I not that I just really wanted to do this book, but like I said, basically Eli has read everything I read, so I got to do something. I got to pull my weight some kind of way on this podcast. All right, so let's see. We got Captain America. This is Captain America 0. This is like a relaunch of the Captain America that's going to spin out into 2 different books. One with Steve Rogers, one with same from the original Iron Man, Element Range. Yeah. Let's see. Let's jump into it. Boom. So you got this. So you got like Captain America, getting pissed on, I guess. I don't know. So pissed on. that's the first thing that jumped to my head. I got a dirty mind.
Pissing fire all over his head.
Oh, save you. All right. So yeah, let's just start with the plot. So this is the plot of the entire story. Please don't let me lose you. The plot of the story is that Arnim Zola, the big robot head dude from the Avengers movie, wants to shoot a rocket into space and infect everybody in America to turn them into dinosaurs.
That's right.
That's the plot. That's the plot. Yeah, that's the whole book. Okay. Don't let me lose you.
Because he feels humans have fucked up the earth, and the earth was a lot better when dinosaurs ruled the earth.
See, yeah. Okay, anyway. Now one plus about
he's
this
telling
book.
the truth, man. No.
Hashtag
Zoloff
Arnim
was
Zola
right.
was right. Right. People are gonna do that. People are gonna do that when they read the book. We're gonna go deep into it. So anyway, the Captains Americas or America, whatever you want to call them, they show up and they throw shields and they beat the shit out of all the Arnim drones and shit like that. But the rocket and he hid the rocket into one of the skyscrapers that he had a shell company for. And yeah, you got Steve Rogers and Sam just sucking each other's dick, whatever. Yeah. So they move on. They're like, man, you go high, I go left. People that's just not watching and just listening, they're gonna be kind of fucked up. Maybe I need to pick this book up. What's the hell going on? Anyway, Rocket gets shot into space. Falcon and not Falcon. I'm sorry, Captain America go jump aboard the rocket and they try to stop it. Meanwhile, while they're stopping it, Arnim Zola's like doing like some kind of funhouse mirror thing with them when he's talking to them the whole time, talking both in fact. They trying to do communication with each other, but they can't because Zola has hacked into their comms. So for the rest of the book, it's just Zola talking to them the whole time, so they can't talk to each other. And he just asking them stuff like that, And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not Sam Wilson. I'm Captain America." And I'm just going. He's like, "Captain America? Of what America? The America that gonna be underwater in the next 2 decades? The America that that's gonna that's always got fires blazing around it? The America that will put you in jail before they actually fix the environment around them? Is that the America you're protecting?" And he's just like, "Yeah, that America." After he does some, I don't know what the fuck he did right here. He just did some shit, some Falcon shit, So you got Captain, and he basically saying the same. He doing the same like mind games with Captain America. He like Captain America. I'm come to free America. He like, how you gonna free America? America is free. He like, America is not free. And he's like, you don't own America. He like, I'm freeing America from them. He like, them who? Them, the people that have made you a foot soldier. There is no freedom. Freedom is an illusion. You work for them. Everybody works for them. I'm going to free America from everybody because that America you're clinging to, Captain America, is that old, outdated America that doesn't even exist anymore. You just follow orders, and everybody that agrees with you, they're just as old as you are, like Bucky and Sharon Carter and all stuff like that. Matter of fact, you had all these new Captain Americas that popped up, all these new ones that was in that other book we saw. Like, that's the future, and they're leaving you behind. So what do you say about that, Captain America? He was like, all I see in front of me is a madman who doesn't realize that tyranny is over. So he's like, you love Hitler so much, how about you go meet him? And then he smashed him and shit like that. And Falcon just like, the reason I do what I do, even though America hates me for being me, is because you're shooting a fucking rocket into space. So if I don't save you, who's gonna save him? And that's pretty much the book. They do some more Captain's America shit, and basically, Zola's just like, yeah, that's the book. I'm gonna go in a little bit more detail about this book in a second. But basically, Zola's doing this whole thing. How can you beat me, Captain America? You just one man. He's like, I'm not one man. I am. And they say it at the same time, Captain America, and then they.
That's the image. Like, if I was gonna if I was gonna like review the book, that was the image I was gonna share. Like, I was
like, yeah, okay, it's cut to the end. Anyway, they jump off the ship, they surf aboard on Captain America's shield, and they say, now the end. For people who don't know what the hell happened at the end, this guy is the White Wolf, the real White Wolf, the White Wolf from the comics, not Bucky, but the real White Wolf. This is T'Challa's adopted brother. He's the only white guy that has ever been raised in Wakanda. And
that's basically Black Panther.
Yeah, White Panther, White Black Panther. Yeah, that guy. He used to run the War Dogs or like that. So anyway,
I remember. Yeah,
that old clip we had. Yeah, that guy. So yeah, but they're celebrating him, and he's just like, they celebrate you now, but just wait. And he's gonna use Falcon to take down Wakanda. That's his plan, his evil master plan. But yeah, that's the book. Okay, let me explain this book. I think I got to explain this book. Okay. This book is what I like about comics and hate about comics at the same time. Because the thing is, when you're reading comics, when you read comics, you got to read comics. It's another layer to it. Now, the reason I say that, because they're not really, this comic is pretty much just the author just giving like it's propaganda. That's what it is. It's propaganda. He's got this speech he's trying to point. He's got this point he's trying to get across. But in comics, how they always do it when they get a point across, the guy who's ever winning the argument is usually winning the fight. And whenever the guy comes back with a counter argument, he comes back with a counter punch. And that's how comics kind of handle arguments when they're trying to have a debate or discussion, things like that. They have to have it through a fight, So, yeah. Like I said, it's Captain America #0. So yes, it's definitely filler. I hope it's filler. I hope the rest of the books.
It's setting up 2 Captain America books.
Yeah.
One with Sam, one with Steve.
Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. And it's trying to give a point on.
I don't know if it sold me on any of them, but
yeah, I don't think it's something like the art sold me. Now, I'll be honest with you. The art sold me, but at the same time, some of the art was confusing. So yeah, it looks pretty, but sometimes I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I like, who's blowing up what? Who's punching who? That's just me. Maybe because it was like almost too detailed. It was almost reaching an uncanny valley. But other than that, just like how it looked, the art looked great. It was beautiful, But my whole thing is that the writer was tripping on his own dialogue instead of just making this a Captain America and is all this philosophical shit he's trying to just shove down the throat. Calm that shit down a little bit. It felt like he was trying to. That's just me,
Yeah, no, I kind of get what you're saying, because I felt like some of the stuff he was saying was, I don't want to say outdated, because yes, those are current events. Yes, the environment's fucked up. We have fires. We have, climate change. All that shit is, the rising water levels and all that shit. that's all going on, but it's not speaking. There's so much more going on, right? The immediate now,
Right.
that I felt like, like it wasn't current enough for me,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, in a way. I don't know if that makes any sense. Not that I'm saying, oh, the new trend to give a shit about, the new cause to give a shit about, but I'm just saying.
And plus, if you've been keeping up with Captain America comics, this is the same shit they've been doing for the last 2 years anyway. They kind of, especially we just got through with the Coach run, where they just beat you over the head with this, social political stuff. And it kind of like the actual Captain America, I just want to see him punch a Nazi in the face, kind of gets pushed to the background, So it's cool, but get to the point, man. That's all I've got to get. Yeah, well, we get it. You got this same argument you're doing over and over again. Yeah, we've heard this shit before. Do something new. Do something that Coach didn't already do for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Don't be baby Coach.
Yeah, and I think that's what I feel like. They're just sort of, just kind of repeating the same arguments. That's what.
Yeah.
There wasn't giving me
do
anything
something
new.
else. Yeah, do something.
Yeah,
new. I know, like the X-Men. Yeah, they do the same preachy shit over and over again, the same shit since the '60s. But come on, man, do something different with this Captain. Get me excited about this Captain America book.
And that's what I'm saying. Is like I don't know if I'm completely sold on both books that they're setting up. Yeah, we're supposed to, there's a Sam book, there's a Steve book. I don't know. I mean, if they just still gonna just be the preachy shit going on, which I don't mind, but make
I don't want this shit for the every week. I don't want this shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, like you said, the art was cool. I thought it was really goofy in a way, like Zoloft. I thought the premise was goofy, and I enjoyed the premise. Oh,
and honestly, I thought that's where it was gonna go. I thought it was gonna just be a goofy book, but then it just went. It took a turn for me. I don't know.
like fuck it. Yeah. Oh, Zoloft wants to turn everybody into dinosaurs. Let me see that. I want to see that.
Right. Let them fight dinosaur people. But nah, we didn't do that.
Yeah. Let's just have that, and then let like him arguing with the bad guy, and then yes, I mean, Captain America has always sort of commented on the turbulence in the country. I mean, that's just kind of at the core of it. But I felt this time it was just not really saying anything that I didn't already know.
Right.
I guess. And I guess that's why. I mean, even in Coach runs, he made some points. That he brought up points like, oh yeah, he said things in a way that are like, wow, I didn't think of that. And I guess that's what I was looking for. I was expecting something a little bit more deeper, I guess, than the same old argument, I guess. I don't know.
See, now you scaring me, Eli, because now I'm getting flashbacks of what happened in comics with the 80s to the 90s, where we had that gritty, grim, where they try to take comics seriously, like Watchmen, The Dark Knight Returns, books like that. But then we get to the 90s and it just went, oh, well, it's just blood and titties is what sold. Let's just do that. Let's just do Image and just screw all the shit that actually made it good. And I feel like that's what we're getting now in these books. Oh, since Coates did bring in these really social political topics that really, were on point at the time, let's just regurgitate that shit.
Yeah.
But with lesser writers. And I was like, oh shit, that's not what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like I don't mind woke shit, but entertain me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I agree with the politics. I'm left leaning. I don't give a fuck. I agree with everything they're saying in this book. It's just I would have liked to see
the choir for one thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You're shouting in a vacuum. Let me see the dinosaur people.
Right.
I mean, because I think you can be woke and be entertaining at the same time.
And the best Captain America comics have done that, because a lot of times you can have a social political commentary while he's kicking ass. You can do both. But when you just stop the book and you just have him just do this long speech, that shit gets boring.
Yeah, we've seen that done. So I guess, the art was really cool. It started out really fun, but then I was like, oh, okay, but you're not really saying anything new that I don't already know or agree with.
But here's the problem, Eli. I think Marvel's like really proud of this book. I think they're really proud of the writing. I think they really think they did something with this. Because they got this awesome ass artist on this, and they're like, oh yeah, this one's gonna be a hit. Like, no, maybe you should rethink this. Don't do what Coach did. Like,
And the
Coach,
art
Coach
looks
is
good
Coach.
on these books that are coming up. The Sam book and
Yeah,
but it seems like it feels a little packaged, I guess.
yes, it doesn't feel. I don't know, Eli. That's what I'm saying. When I read this book, I was just like, that's why I was hoping you would have like a different like opinion. Like maybe you love the book and maybe I just missed something. But now,
I mean, I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought it was, but I just wished it had more that. Oh, this is just a setup. This is just a setup for. It was an advertisement.
You're doing that in Spider-Man. Yeah, we'll review that sooner or later, I guess.
You've been watching Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
You know how they keep referring to, the Black Panther 2 premiere. I want 2 tickets. Whoopi
They
Goldberg's
really shitting on Black Panther on the show. It's funny to me. It's funny. It's hilarious to me. But yeah, you're right.
But I get the point. It's like, just give them a movie and racism doesn't exist anymore. It's like that's
racism will be done in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I kind of feel like sometimes that they're doing. Like, let's just give them this, this prepackaged social wokeness, and we'll shut up.
Right. While they just sit back and just while they monetize the movement. Like I keep saying, they keep trying to monetize the movement. Yeah.
While Disney tries to pander to countries that are racist and don't put black people on movie posters and edit out scenes of gay people. And,
right. Or if they don't edit them out, use that as propaganda, to sell the movie. Ooh, look how progressive we are.
Or add their own endings to their movies.
Right.
Censor and add their own endings. And that goes back to the whole, what we were talking about before, when we were talking about the female Thor, Lady Thor,
right.
like let's get them arguing so it gives it more attention, and let's keep the division going because that creates buzz. That's trendy.
Right.
Political divide is trendy. Let's keep the
free
people
promotion
arguing.
for them. So
and they make a buck off of us hating each other.
Yeah, even though she might be in the show movie for like 5 seconds, it doesn't matter. They've already made their money because people are so pissed about it. Oh, I hate it. I gotta go see it again. So
yeah.
All right. So what book you got next?
I'm booked out.
Really?
I read all the same. You read all my books.
Oh, wow. I thought you had more books than I did. Anyway, I got another book. I got one more book. Yeah, I had one more. I actually saved this. I actually like this book. I actually like this one. This one is another CW book. Because I know we had such fun last time. I wanted to stick with the CW.
Is it Archie?
Well, not the Arrowverse, that thing. So we're reviewing Superman and Lois. So even though it says number 2, it's really number 1 because the last issue was the Batwoman. I don't know why I put the in front of it, but yeah. So that's what's going on with that. So
okay, so it's a series of. So it's not really. It's like a series of Arrowverse books.
Correct. So every book is a different Arrowverse show, Arrowverse comic. Yeah. So just start off what's going on with it right now. And I actually kind of like this book. Let me go ahead and review it. Okay. So the book starts off with it's the anniversary. They're back in Smallville. This is during season 1 or 2. Actually, it don't even matter when it happened. It's during the show. So it don't matter if it happened in episode 3 of 2 or whatever like that. It's their anniversary. Clark and Lois have an anniversary. The kids just like, we're going to go out. But it's actually not the anniversary. It's 4 days after their anniversary. So you got Jordan and John. For those that haven't been keeping up with the show, John is named after Clark's, Earth granddad. And Jordan's named after his space granddad, which is, Jor-El. So that's where he got the names from. So basically, saying,
I never, dude, that just blew my mind.
What? Okay.
I'm just now getting that.
Okay.
Well, I knew why Jonathan had his name, but I never knew why Jordan. I never knew Jordan got his name.
They explained it in episode 2 because I didn't know the first because he actually met Jor-El. He's just like, you named after me. So yeah.
My hat even just came off.
All right. So let's go over that. So it's 4 days after the anniversary. They're just like, so why are you celebrating 4 days after the anniversary? Is that like some kind of Kryptonian tradition or something like that? They're like, no. Let's tell you a story. So they sit the kids down. They basically say why they celebrate the anniversary 4 days after the real anniversary, after the day they got married. So they meet 365 days after their first anniversary. And they meet and we're gonna do our thing. Like, okay, we're gonna meet at this our favorite restaurant. You get a little cheeky shot from
What the
Lois
fuck
in
is
the
he
back, making
doing?
sure.
What's
Okay,
he
so
doing there?
so what he's doing is that he is using heat vision in a mirror to shave his mustache.
Oh,
It's a Superman thing. It's yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember that argument? I think it was like Kevin Smith was saying how does Superman shave?
Yeah, but they already explained it back in the 80s.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yes, that was the thing. So he said that, but they've already explained that. So yeah. All right. So anyway, they go meet and they're like, okay, we're gonna work, we're gonna be a day planning, do our thing, we're gonna work tonight. But Superman has to fight robots. The robots that came out of nowhere just fight. So since he had to fight robots, he stood up, he couldn't come dinner. So they're like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll just do it the next day. Superman fights robots. So this is the next day after. Like, okay, tell you what, we're gonna do it tonight. We're going to do it no matter what. And Superman's just like, or Clark's just like, okay, I will not do Superman shit tonight. We're going to meet. And now you get some cheeky shot from Clark in the shower. So yeah, equal opportunity, All right, so they're gonna meet. And what the thing is, the printing press of the Daily Planet broke down. And apparently only Lois Lane knows how to fix it. So she spends all night trying to fix the printing press because if they don't fix the printing press, they won't have news in the morning. And she finds a toy car in the printing press. She's like, where it came from? I don't really know, but whatever. But she stands Clark up. Clark just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gone. So he leaves. So this is the third day after. And it's like, okay, look, we're going to do it. We're going to do it this time. Okay, we're going to meet no matter what happens. The cheeky shot from Lois. Okay. But Lois keeps looking at that toy car. She's like, okay, somebody leave it there on purpose, or did they try to sabotage us? Oh, and Superman couldn't make it because he was fighting Nuclear Man. So Nuclear Man exists in the Arrowverse, I guess. So
didn't he
Stan
show
Lois
up on that? Didn't he show up in that Crisis crossover?
I don't think so. I don't think he did. Yeah. Or yeah. But
They
Lois
brought
has
everybody in for that shit.
yeah, everybody like Batgirl and Huntress and all kind of shit like that. So anyway, so Lois looks at her toy car. She keeps standing to her car. She's like, something right about this toy car. And she sees Superman fighting Nuclear Man, and she's like, you know what? He ain't gonna make it. So she leaves. All right. So while she's gone, so Clark knew she screwed up. He's like, I'm sorry for fighting Nuclear Man. I brought you flowers and a burrito. She's like, give me the burrito. And she's like, look, we're gonna do it tonight. We're going to do it tonight. We're gonna do it. Okay, no matter what happens. So you get another cheeky shot of Clark. So in Clark, analyze, he X-ray visions the toy car and he sees Crank Company on there. And Lois is like, Crank Company? Where have I heard that before? And she's like, oh yeah. So she goes to like Crank Company's like abandoned toy factory and she sees the Toy Man. The Toy Man tried to sabotage, the Daily Planet's newspaper. And while she's there, she also sees like a rose gallery of Superman villains from the 80s. You see Sleaze, you see I can't remember that other guy. But anyway, a bunch of guys there. And she basically radios the police and they come get him. So they like, so Lois Lane takes that butt and she leaves Clark standing again. So basically she took down an inner gang cell, So they like, again, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to have dinner tonight. We're going to celebrate our anniversary. So they go, and you get another cheeky shot from Lois. It's like Groundhog's Day, And she's like, look, we're going to do one thing. I need to interview the mayor. And after that, I'm going to have dinner. She's like, cool. But then Clark just like, look, man, let's just talk. Let's go somewhere and talk. Like, we know what we were getting into when we got married. Should we keep trying to do this because our lives are too busy? We don't know if we can do this. You're like, look, that's why we got married. We know we need each other. We got to keep doing this. As long as we keep trying, that means we're made for each other because we know how busy our lives are. Like, you're Superman. Hell, So she's like, no matter what, we're going to do it. We're not going to cancel. I'm just going to do Superman shit locally so I can't miss dinner. And like, cool. So they go do their thing. Superman goes save some people locally in Metropolis. And then that's when he gets approached by Lobo. And
Okay.
Lobo, right. And he just looked.
Yeah. So if Lobo was to be the CW version of Lobo would probably suck.
Right. He'd probably be, yeah, we're not gonna go there, but yeah. So he's just like, yeah, so Lobo, what do you want? He's just like, he's never met Lobo before. He's like, yeah, there's a contract on your head, so you come with me. So he gets some kryptonite chains, grab him up, boom, they out of there. And he takes him to space. They go. Meanwhile, Lois Lane is having, an interview with the mayor, but she gets she gets anonymous tipped that Ugly Mannheim, I don't care what his name is, Ugly Mannheim, that's what Jack Kirby calls, so I'm going to call him Ugly, that's what he is. So he's saying Ugly has a political person in his pocket, and he runs Intergang. So you might need to go find out what they're doing. So she gets a tip, she goes there, she knows she got just enough time to get there, and that's when Superman has been kidnapped and brought to an asteroid, and basically like, who paid you to do this? And she's like, well, some redhead chick paid me to come get you. Now they don't explain who the redhead chick is, but if I was to guess, I would think it's Maxima, because back in the 90s, she was a Superman villain that just wanted Superman to have her. She wanted Superman to put a baby in her, basically. That was her only thing. Yeah. So Superman gets freeze, punches shit out of Lobo, flies back to space. Flies back to Earth. Meanwhile, Lois sees Ugly, and she's like, I'm gonna sneak in, I'm gonna put a blonde wig on so Ugly can't recognize me. And she serves drinks, and Ugly is just like, okay, here's my guy. And it turns out it's the mayor. Dun, dun, dun. Shocker. The mayor's in his back pocket. He's putting the mayor in office so he can have him run Intergang shit. So when Lois finds out, she takes a quick picture with her old ass Nokia cell phone, leaves, and because she knows she has to get to the dinner. She like, step on it, go. So she tries to get to dinner. Neither one of them show up. And Superman tries to fly from space to Earth. Too late. By the time they get there, Plastino's is closed. So they both miss dinner. They're like, oh shit. They're like, well, at least we tried. You're like, so at least that's something, you know. But then Lois is like, you know what, but I really wanted some Hawaiian pork. You're like, well, I know a place where they just call it pork. Like, really? Yeah, let's go. So, and they're just like, wait a minute. So you saying y'all flew to Hawaii for dinner? And like, and y'all fly to Hawaii every anniversary, 4 days after the anniversary? Like, yep, that's what we do. So bye. And they leave, and we see them at their first anniversary 4 days after the anniversary. They're like, happy anniversary, Lois, happy anniversary, Clark. The end. Other shit happens. I ain't gonna talk about that. Some more crisis shit that's setting up. So yeah, and that's the thing about it. That's why I like the book. This is the thing. A lot of Superman books are about him like destroying planets and fighting evil warlords, shit like that. But sometimes you can write a slice of life comic with Superman. You can do that. It's possible. And that's what this book was. It was about Lois and Clark.
And that's what's going on with this show. I mean, we're just getting
that's going on with the show, yeah.
Yeah. Hope it doesn't look like Clark's mom. Oh, well, on the show, she looks like Clark's mom.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why they always get these frumpy ass chicks to play Lois, man.
I mean, Lois not supposed to be a supermodel. That kind of defeats the purpose of being Lois. You know, she's supposed to be in love with humanity. You know, so I guess that's my reasoning for it. But yeah, but that's what I like about this book. I like this book better than the Batwoman last week because you don't have to read. You don't have to even know the show. You can just read this book. As a matter of fact, this book reminded me more of like Superman the animated series or like the John Byrne 80s run than even Lois Clark. Lobo never showed up. Ugly never showed up. Maxima never showed up. You know, Toyman never showed up. This is just shit. Nuclear Man never showed up. They're just shit they just pulled out of their ass. It's just like, damn, okay. So, but yeah, like I said, it was interesting. This was better. So next episode is going to be Legends of Tomorrow. Oh. We'll see how that goes. That's actually my favorite CW DC show. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, well, we are booked out over.
I'm booked out, yeah.
I'm booked out also. That's all. I got no other books left. That's it. So yeah, appreciate everybody for tuning in, checking us out. We got a whole bunch of people, angry emoji, even you. We appreciate you for listening. You know, for how long you did it. Maybe you hate listening. I don't know. You know, check out with us next week. I don't know what we're gonna have next week. We'll have some on the plate. We'll have a full week where all of what's going on. So until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.